Three of the cast members, making up three members of the band Queen from the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, playing John Deacon, Joe Mazzello, playing Rami Malek, Gwylim Lee, and playing Freddie Mercury, Rami Malek! Come on, San Francisco! Guys, you have a few fans in the house. And I'm not sure, but a little bird told me that Freddie Mercury may have come to the Castro in his lifetime. Perhaps.
I've heard that, yeah, I've heard that.
So Rami?
What better venue to watch this film, and where would Freddie probably have loved to watch it, is right here at the Castro in San Francisco.
And Rami, he may have hung out in a couple of bars south of Market. He may have been to a couple of bars south of Market, perhaps.
I doubt it. If Freddie was here, he went to a few bars, that's for sure.
So Rami, let's talk to each one of you about embodying the characters, becoming the characters. Freddie Mercury, firstly, where did you begin? When this movie, the script came to you, how did you become Freddie?
Hear that this role is coming your way, and it's an experience that's obviously surreal, but it's euphoric. It's this moment of sheer elation, and then it's what the hell am I going to do after that? It's so many things all at once, but there was no time to really worry or question it too much, because I knew if I was going to try to emulate this icon, this god, this human being that I've fallen in love with now, it was going to take a lot of work. So I just, I flew myself to London, and I just started taking singing lessons and piano lessons, and I met with choreographers. But I realized Freddie was just spontaneous beauty. There's nothing rehearsed about the guy. He got out there and he made a show in the moment that was every night hoped would be the greatest show of his life. And to be able to do anything like that, I said, I gotta be spontaneous in the moment every day, and figured out how to do his mannerisms, which you'll see, how to move like him, and I hope how to dance like him, and I hope you get to see that in these concert sequences in the film. We all worked pretty damn hard on them, and we're just so excited to be here tonight and share it with you.
Oh boy, yeah, it's funny because once you get one thing down, you realize that there's something else you got to incorporate, right? So I guess I started with the accent. He has a very unique accent. It's sort of this...
you nailed it.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, like this Eastern Midlands English accent that I think only he has. And so I started by studying that. And so I said, okay, I'm an actor. I can probably get this down. And then I was like, oh wait, I have to play an instrument as well. And so I was lucky enough to be able to have about 6 weeks of rehearsal doing that. They flew me in early, and I worked with maybe the best studio bassist in London, doing lessons 4 days a week, ramping up to the shoot. Okay, so then I started getting that down, and then it's like, okay, also you have to be able to move like him on stage. And the first thing we were going to do was Live Aid, which is a big portion of this movie, and we had to learn the entire.
No spoiler.
Well, or not.
Spoiler alert, the greatest performance in rock and roll of all time.
Yeah,
1985 Live Aid.
Yeah, the Titanic sinks also.
You can go home, everybody.
And so that was the first thing we had to shoot.
Yeah.
And so we had to learn this entire 20-minute set, down to every smallest movement. If John's head turned to the left, I had to turn my head to the left at that exact moment. But then through all of that, you also then have to connect to the characters, because there's emotions going on stage between everybody. And so it's just like one thing on top of the other on top of the other. And you just keep plugging away at it and giving it everything you got and do your homework. And when they say action, you just kind of hope you're ready.
Gwilym, a Welsh lad, spent much of your life in Birmingham, and you take on the role of one of the greatest guitarists in rock and roll of all time, Brian May, and boy, in this film, do you look like him.
Dr.
Come on, let's hear it for Gwilym with Brian May.
Yes. Yeah, it's similar. It's an enormous task, but you just got to, I don't know, you just got to put the work in. And I remember when we were doing the Live Aid coverage, the very first day on set, we did a run through of that, of the whole set. And after the rehearsal, Brian came up to me, and we studied it in meticulous detail. It's the one part of the film we really needed to nail, because it's so recognisable and iconic, that concert. And Brian came up to me and was like, "No, it's very good. Yeah, no, it's very accurate. You've got all the movements right. It's very good. But don't forget, I am a rock star." And with that comes a bit of ego. And I was like, "Oh, that's actually really, really useful," because it made me really reminded myself we're not like there to mimic or to caricature. We've got to try and bring a bit of our own rock star to the part. So,
Rami, what surprised you about Freddie Mercury? What did you learn about the personal side of Freddie that you were surprised by, did not know?
He was gay. I feel like if I even start talking about it, I'm going to give away so much of the film.
Everybody block your ears. Just talk to me, Rami. Rami, just talk to me.
You know, it's funny, we got to work with Brian May and Roger Taylor quite a bit, and people often ask, what was the greatest piece of advice that they gave you? And it's not necessarily anything that they told me about Freddie, it's about how they talk about him. You see it in their eyes, you see something in their demeanor entirely changes. And of course they're talking about a loved one who they've lost, but there is something that is, as we see him as almost a deity, but there is something that is so uniquely special to this man that he could do what he did on stage and the life he lived at home, be this shy, very vulnerable, loving person who was very generous behind closed doors, and obviously had a lot of inner strife and conflict going on. But I found it enlightened me as to why he was so bold on stage, why he was so captivating, because there's something just burning inside of him. All these things, and the one place he could really share it was out there with hundreds of thousands, and not just the first few in the first 4 or 5 rows, everyone out to the back of the arena, no matter who you were. He was identifying with everybody on that stage, and it is quite possibly one of the most extraordinary things I've got to witness by getting involved in this.
Freddie was a rock star, a pop star, and for a brief moment an opera star. He loved his opera.
He did. He used to go to the opera a lot.
Yeah.
He went, and there was a moment where he was listening to Pavarotti, and he was like, "All right, this guy's pretty good." But he heard this voice coming from stage left, and that was Montserrat Caballé. And
that's right.
He fell in love with her sound, with her, flew to Spain and recorded an album called Barcelona. We can go through the entire list.
And they had a number one song. It was at the top of the British charts. It was the first opera song to ever hit the top of the pop charts because of the combo of them together. Yeah.
You get some opera in this film.
A little bit of opera.
He also loved his ballet. And in the late 70s, at a time when there were lots of angry young people going around London listening to punk music, The Clash and the Sex Pistols, Freddie very famously said that he wanted to bring ballet to the masses. And I just think there's something so irreverent and cheeky and joyful about that statement that says so much about the man.
And going down the line, what do you hope the audience will walk out of here with today? Because this is a personal story about an incredible man, an incredible band. It's about the relationships and so much more. But what do you hope the audience will take away?
Well, I mean, Freddie and Queen were not afraid to express themselves. They were 4 seemingly quite unlikely rock stars that were all completely unique and individual in their own way. But they were fearless in their attempt to kind of bring joy to people and to celebrate life. And I hope that you're left, when you walk out the cinema, you have a little bit of that joy in your hearts as well. Hopefully.
Guys?
Yeah. You know, it's funny because obviously I want you to enjoy it, but I don't know beyond that I want to dictate too much about what I want you to feel. I think everyone's going to take a little something different away from this, and I just know that, you know, trying to channel my inner John, he used to always sort of say that the music was for everyone, and that if you're just, it's an escape. It's if you're having a bad day or something's going on at work or you're sick or whatever it is, you just get to come, you know, here to the movie theater and just have a little joy for a little while, and if you can walk out of here and experience that joy, then that's the main point. Yeah.
And Rami, I have to ask you, if you were to go to a karaoke bar tonight with all of us, maybe the Mint down the road, what Queen song would you sing?
Oh, after this movie, I'm never going to do karaoke.
But if you were, Rami,
I've left it up there.
do you have a favorite song? Is there one song you love above all others?
Is there one? Okay, how about this? I had a blast performing Another One Bites the Dust, and I think that one would be a good karaoke choice. I'll say that. We all had to tell us the Another One Bites. No, we'll save this for the
Guys,
too many stories.
Favorite song?
Well, I mean, it's like, I don't have children, but I imagine it's probably like trying to choose your favourite child.
Yeah.
But karaoke-wise,
Sure.
I think 39. If you don't know that song, it just sums up Brian May perfectly. It's a folk song about time travel, obviously, which only a PhD astrophysics guitar genius could write. I'll give that a blast.
Well, listen.
Well, back. I mean, the thing with the movie too is, I mean, Freddie had this sense of inclusivity, right? Don't put him in a box. He refused to be put in a box, categorized. So, you know, I think the one thing he would say about his music is, it's whatever you want it to be. You're whoever you want to be. We are whoever we want to be. And you know, I hope that this movie, you interpret in the way that you feel it speaks to you. And one thing his sister told me that was beautiful, she was watching me work, all of us work, she's like, Freddie worked hard and he was a perfectionist, but she goes, don't be afraid to have a good time. And I hope you guys do tonight.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to see the film? Guys, before we go, I want us to take a big selfie together. Come on, guys, just get the audience in the background on. Big smile, everybody. On the three, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The movie. It opens November 2nd. Bohemian